Losers. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Cheers,
My
guys.
pleasure, bud. What's going on?
Aaron
Thanks for
Lewis,
having us.
John Daly, two legends in their own right. Your birthday tonight here. We're at Losers.
Yes, sir.
Happy
50.
50th.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy 50th, brother.
Thank you.
Do you feel 50?
No,
No?
no, not at all. Well, I mean, sometimes when I wake up in the morning and everything hurts, but most of the time, no, I don't feel 50 at all.
You don't look 50.
Well, thank you.
How old are you?
I'll be 56, April 28th. I look 85, but that's all right.
You say April 28th? My birthday's April 29th.
There you go. You and Willie Nelson, April 28th, 29th. He has two birthdays.
What?
Half of his body came out on the 28th, the other half came out on the 29th. So he, put it
Is
this
that
way.
real? Is
Well,
that
they
true?
sewed him back together.
No. That was around 11:55 at night. Half his body came out on the 28th, the other half came out on the 29th. So
That's
he
awesome.
celebrates two birthdays.
He gets 2 days. Of course he does.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
And
you know
he
that?
makes sure everybody knows it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When'd you meet him?
I met him through Herky back in the early 90s. Herky Williams, who everybody knows.
Where'd you
around.
grow up?
Arkansas, Dardanelle.
Did you always play golf growing up?
Pretty much. Played a lot of sports, but golf was my favorite.
Golf was always your favorite? Was because that was the one you were best at?
I was pretty good at throwing a ball, kicking a ball,
Mhm.
and, shooting a ball. I just was too fat to run. So I stuck to golf.
When I first got into the league, I went down, or maybe I wasn't even in the league yet, but I went to Brett Favre's golf tournament down in Mississippi, and you were playing it that year.
Right.
And you literally, I think you drove every hole. It was like driver, putt, driver, putt, driver, putt.
That's when I could hit it.
You can't hit it anymore? You can
No.
still hit it.
Not like I used to.
Really? That's what happens with age.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still hit it 300 yards, which is nothing on the PGA Tour, but it's decent on the Senior Tour.
Do you think the equipment's changed a lot? You think that's helping these guys?
The ball.
The ball? How so? Tighter?
Just the ball. It's just like, when I won the British in '95, I had an ultra competition ball. I think it was the first three-piece ball that ever did anything, and it was hard back then. Now you put a ultra competition ball up against the balls now, it'll be softer than those balls. Now you
Really?
got 4 pieces, 5 piece. They just go straight. They go far. It's all on the golf ball now.
Those dudes can hit it these days.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, everyone does.
I would love to see these kids hit a balata ball with an old Irvin King persimmon wood, see what they could do.
See what you do there? Just be spraying it.
Go everywhere.
Where'd you grow up?
Vermont.
You're from Vermont?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever met anybody from Vermont.
Bam.
First one.
Bam.
I don't.
Did you have brothers or sisters?
Yeah.
Did you always sing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's pictures of me sitting on a stool in the middle of band practice going on around me with my dad's band. And I mean, I'm sitting on a stool with a microphone in my hand, so I must have been singing. And band practice was happening, and I was 4 probably. I've always been around music.
Really?
So you basically started singing when you were 4?
I was yanking on strangers' pant legs
What?
and wanting to sing for them since I was able to.
Really?
That's when I started golf, 4 years old.
You started golf at 4 years old?
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't think I played any sports until probably 5, maybe 6. Did you write stuff when you were a kid?
I figured out in middle school, probably 7th grade, 8th grade, that I was good at writing poetry.
Yeah.
And I soon thereafter figured out that I could take that poetry and put it to the simple guitar playing that I was able to do.
Did you start solo, or were you in bands growing up?
I was in like high school bands growing up.
Really?
Played the Battle of the Bands and the variety show.
In
and
Vermont,
stuff.
around Vermont?
No, this was all once I had moved to Massachusetts.
Okay.
It was Vermont until I was 8, New Hampshire after that until I was 12, and then I moved to Massachusetts.
And that's when you were always in bands, just doing music and stuff? Did you go to college?
No.
So what happened after high school?
I went to goldsmithing school and learned to be a goldsmith.
What's a goldsmith do?
When you have a goldsmith does a lot of things, really. A goldsmith can make the jewelry that you're wearing.
Yeah.
They can fix the jewelry that you're wearing. They can.
Did you know this?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I can do everything from carve it out of wax to cast it into gold to finish it down to a nice fine product, set stones in it. The whole
Really?
So I know when I'm buying jewelry from now on, I'm going to talk to Aaron.
Talk,
No,
talk
see
to
what
Nick,
it's
talk to
worth.
Aaron.
It
Yeah.
ain't
what
worth
it's
a
worth.
shit now,
No, but
but that's what I went to school for.
How long was that? How long was that schooling?
A year.
That's not bad.
It was like the school was like small school, in dude's basement there was 4 students and 2 teachers.
Really?
But you plowed through
The whole course.
the whole course in a year.
wow.
So you were just going to be a goldsmith. If singing
Yeah.
didn't work out, or were you singing on the side too?
No, it's funny. Leading into me going to goldsmithing school, my uncle had sat me down and had said to me, you know, this music thing is great and all, but what do you really want to do with the rest of your life?
Sure.
And I didn't have an answer.
Yeah.
So he suggested that I go to goldsmithing school and come back and be his goldsmith at the family jewelry store that's been on my mom's side of the family since the 50s.
Gotcha.
Wow.
So that made sense then. I mean, I just wanted to make sure you had a job.
Yeah.
So you get done with goldsmithing school. What happens then?
Well, pre-goldsmith school, right before I left, I went to a Christmas party, and my future guitar player's best friend and roommate put my head through a wall, and that was kind of how me and Mike met. And it wasn't my fault. I didn't do what he was mad at, but he didn't know anybody else in the room.
I
Or he
gotcha.
didn't not know anybody else in the room. Everybody else was his close friends.
Ah.
And then there was me.
Mm.
So I was the perfect target.
Uh-huh.
So I had met him at that party. We exchanged numbers, and I disappeared and went off to school.
Really?
And when I came back and started working, after my uncle fired me because I ruined a customer's piece of jewelry that I was supposed to be fixing, and instead I melted.
Oh gosh.
I went to work at a different place, and it was like a manufacturing. We made all the jewelry
Gotcha.
for the jewelry store chain up in New England. And Mike's roommate, who had put my head through the wall at that party, well, his girlfriend worked there.
Really?
And small worlds.
Uh-huh.
And next thing you know, I had hooked back up with Mike again, and we got together and wrote a couple songs and decided that it happened so easily that we should probably try to move forward with something.
Create a band. So you guys just found people then? Like, did you guys have a different name for
I
the
knew,
band?
no,
Was it always?
it was always
Was
Stained.
there always
Like even when we were a cover band, it was still Stained.
Because you hear stories of like these bands and they evolve and they have one name and another name and another name, but you guys always how'd you guys pick that?
Well, the band Lit was Stained before they were Lit.
Really?
Yeah. And the same guy that we ended up paying a chunk of money to just go away so that we could have the name and be done with it, deterred them from keeping the name. They weren't going to pay for the name. They came up with a different name, and it was Lit.
Really?
Yeah, but one of the guys in the band has Stained tattooed across his stomach,
On
and I give him shit about it all the time because he's
He's
my
in
bud.
Lit?
But he's but it was tattooed on his stomach before Lit had to change their name from Stained
I gotcha.
to Lit.
Did you guys have success pretty early on as a band?
No, we were at the end.
That's
We were like
what
the end of giving it a go.
Uh-huh. Really?
We had broken up a few times already. Yeah, it was.
Up and down.
We had been beating our heads against the wall and trying to get a record deal for 5 years already,
Really? It's hard.
and gotten no from everybody.
Really? Who was the first record label you guys went with?
It was Flip Electra, and Flip was the indie label that had signed Limp Bizkit to then take them, or no, how did that work? It was something like that, or Fred had gotten an indie label deal through Flip,
Uh-huh.
but it was definitely intertwined like that. And Flip inevitably picked us up and shopped us and got us picked up by Elektra. So it was a Flip Elektra joint venture. And then we hopped from label to label to label, all under the same umbrella.
I gotcha.
We were Flip Elektra, and then we were Flip Atlantic, and then we were Flip Roadrunner.
Flip Roadrunner? Oh, goodness. Did you go to college? Did you play golf in college?
3 years at Arkansas.
At Arkansas? And then straight to the tour? Was there Q school then? Is that a thing
yeah.
still?
Yeah, I left in '87. I pretty much I had a half scholarship, and was playing one for the team. And my junior and senior year, when I go last semester of my senior year, or my junior year, I said I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't afford it anymore. I borrowed $300 from my mom, won the Missouri Open, won $6,800. I was going to give her the check. She said, no, start your career. From that $6,800, I've never had any help from anybody.
Really? So you won that, and then did you have to go? Was that before Q school or after?
Yeah, for my first year was nothing but state opens and stuff. There wasn't a Korn Ferry, Hogan, Buy.com, any of those tours then. And then went to South Africa, played over there for 2 or 3 seasons. You go right after Christmas. There's summers, January, February, March, April, and all that. So I went over there and borrowed $8,000. Got little sponsors some $8,000, and I ended up going there. Won like 4 times, and really won like 20,000 rand. Back then it was about $8,500.
Yeah.
Felt like I was living like a king over there.
Was that right before or right after the Chippendales thing?
Well, I gained a little weight. I should get back into that Chippendale thing. I really should. I mean, oh, you've heard too, huh? Yeah.
I heard the stories.
Don't underestimate the fat man. Yeah.
What happened?
What?
What happened? I haven't heard this story.
Oh, I can't tell stories like that.
Oh.
So I ended up going to they had a tour school for the Hogan Tour, and I won that.
Okay.
And finished 12th on their list. Got all the way through the final stage of tour school in '90, and got my card, and shit, fortunate to keep it going for a while.
Golf was a little. I mean, it's loosened up a little bit now, but I mean, it was pretty stiff back then, and you kind of came in and stirred up the pot a little bit.
They didn't want no blue collar rednecks out there like me. I can tell you that. No,
Did they give you shit? Like, were they on you? Was PGA on you? You know,
I wish the tour would have had a Boo Weekly, long, like not long after me, but
sure,
a little closer to me.
Yeah.
Then he could have, because he's as big as redneck as I am.
Uh huh.
But no, we didn't have anything. I didn't have anything. I was at Dardanelle, Bay Ridge, a 9-hole golf course. I waited in the ponds to get balls, sold the good ones to the club, and
yeah,
I had practiced with the old ones.
Really?
I learned how to play golf on a baseball field.
You learned how to play golf on a baseball field?
I'd take those old balls down. We lived on Rock Street in Dardanelle, and I could walk down there with a bag, and I'd hit a cut to right field, straight to center field, hook to left field, and flop shots to the mound, chip and runs to first, flop shots to second base, chip and runs to third.
Never. Did you have an instructor or anything early on? Did you ever have an instructor, or No. Never went to the local country club and got lessons?
Nobody taught.
Yeah.
So it was just a 9-hole good old boy redneck club that we loved. Members are great. We used to go and play with them, and just,
It's probably why his swing is so amazing, because every teacher out there would have shortened his swing by at least half.
Well, I can't remember the coach at Texas when I got recruited. He says, "You're not going to play for Texas. Your swing's too long."
Really?
Well, it's a lot to
fine.
put back together for the impact on the ball.
Yeah.
The longer your swing goes, the more moving parts you have in your swing,
More chances for error?
the more chances for error, bringing it back to square on impact.
Yeah.
I've never used a junior set of clubs, so when I started at 4, I'd get the club here and it would just fall, and I could see the club in my left eye. That's when I knew to go down.
Really?
So that's how I got the long swing.
That's crazy.
I used to do it. I used to try to emulate him with my long ass swing, where I could see the head of my driver in
your left eye,
my right eye, because I'm
left-handed. Yeah.
But I quickly learned the information I just shared with you before that.
It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea, man. Unless you're John Daly, keep your swing nice and short and compact.
It's easier to replicate that.
Absolutely. Less moving parts.
And if it is long, do not change it.
No, not if you can hit the ball that way.
Well, it's probably hard.
Now, if you're trying to be long like John Daly and you can't hit the dang ball, it's probably because you're giving yourself way too many moving parts to deal with, and you should probably shorten up your swing.
Pop quiz. How safe is your internet browsing? I bet you don't know, do you? You might not even be thinking about it, but you know who is? Hackers, advertisers, data companies. There are a lot of people who know what you're doing online. So let me help you out by hooking you up with my friends at IPVanish. IPVanish is a VPN, a virtual private network. You may or may not know what it is, but a VPN basically makes you invisible to all those prying eyes on the web. You just connect to IPVanish and then go browse wherever you want. And IPVanish encrypts your data to make sure your info like passwords and private details remain yours. You can use IPVanish on unlimited devices without sacrificing on speed, your computers, tablets, phones, even devices like your Fire Stick when you're streaming media. Whether I'm at home or in public, I don't go online anymore without using IPVanish. And right now they're offering an incredible 70% off their yearly plan for our listeners with a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's just like getting 9 months for free. Stop sharing your digital info with the world. Take your privacy back today with a brand rated 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot. So go to IPVanish.com/Cutler and use promotional code Cutler and claim your 70% savings. That's IPVanish.com/Cutler.
Did you get a coach whenever you got on tour and stuff? Or no? You just said hell with
I've
it?
had a guy named Rick Ross. He was kind of my coach, probably my first year on tour. And he just said, low and slow, finish the backswing. That's all he ever told me.
Low and slow, finish the backswing.
That's all I've ever lived by. Rick Ross, he was a golf director at Hot Springs and Country Club. He ran all them 6 golf courses there for Fairfield Inn or Fairfield Bays, all the Cooper properties.
Yeah.
And so he came to 91 PGA, and I was playing really good. I had my card for 92. That's all my goal was.
Yeah.
Keep my card.
Sure.
Going into PGA, it was all fun because I knew I was going to play the tour the next year.
What was your favorite win?
My favorite win was probably the way it happened was the PGA, but the ultimate win was winning the British at St. Andrews.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the home of golf. They don't like no redneck son bitches going in there beating them either. So the RNA, they don't like that. But, and me and Palmer, we talked about it. They didn't like him when he won it.
Really?
But they soon to love him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the RNA and I are pretty good. They always try and judge a book, you know. We try and judge the book from the cover before it even happens.
Did you ever have any singing instructor or anything growing up?
He didn't need one.
Well, that's the thing. That's
My
like,
high school-
you guys are both like prodigies. Like
My
you guys
high
never
school
had
music
coaches.
teacher.
Yeah, sure. That didn't count.
I mean,
Because you can
that's who
flat
I
out.
can give credit to.
Because you can flat out sing.
Yeah, he can. Well,
Well, thank you. Thank
I
you.
had Rick
Oh.
Smith come help me a little bit about 2007-8. He goes, I can help you.
Yeah.
You've hit every shot I want to hit. Every time you hit a golf ball, it's solid.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help you.
Mhm.
I said, okay, then I guess I'm not coachable. He just laughed. He goes, you don't need a coach.
Yeah.
You don't need a coach.
No, you guys. Neither one of you guys need a coach. You guys.
I mean, you can ask pretty much everybody that's made it in music or golf.
Yeah.
Well, golf's different. Golf, some of them need it, but music, if they get a coach or a singing type of person, it may screw them up.
Yeah.
Or that's all they're capable of. And when all the teaching and all the schooling is failing you miserably because you're 5 days into having the flu and you still have to play a show, that voice will fail before my voice that is literally the voice that I wake up in the morning with.
Yeah.
I don't warm up. I don't warm down. similar to stretching before, you know, being athletic. I don't warm up or warm down or do anything. I smoke cigarettes on stage the entire time I'm singing and playing. I smoke on my way to the stage.
Yeah.
Like I drink whiskey on the rocks with a splash of water in it the entire show. I'm doing everything wrong.
Everything.
Everything.
But
it makes everything right.
But the end product is everything right.
But it's the same as you in football. I mean, it's all repetition. You
Oh,
do
yeah.
it, you do it, you do it,
Oh,
you
yeah.
do it.
Oh yeah. I mean,
the hardest part, you know, for us on golf is maybe a new set of clubs getting used to.
sure.
Hardest part might be for him is maybe a new song coming out that he's
Yeah.
got to rehearse it a little
Yeah.
bit. Unless he wrote it, he
Exactly.
ain't gonna have to. I mean,
I still got to learn them. Even if I wrote them, I still got to learn them.
but
It's
most-
usually happening very, very fast.
Yeah.
And like,
but
I
everything,
got to.
everything we do is repetition.
Oh, absolutely. I remember I went to one of my first football camps in Indiana. It was at DePaul University, and they were filming us, and you know we're throwing and stuff and throwing us, and then you go in the classroom, they'd watch it, and they were like, "Hey, like you've got to change your motion." And I was like, "Well, because I played baseball too, so like I would drop it down and then bring it raise it up, and they're like, you can't do that. Like you just got
Like you're about to throw a baseball.
yes."
Because the baseball comes from down here.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I can't change it. Like I can't do that. Like this is just how I throw a football. And then we started like timing it, and I drop it up and let it go the same amount of time as the other kids were just going straight up and throwing. So I was like, I'm the same time as this guy. So like, why do I need to change my stroke just because that's what you claimed how it should be done? So as much as you guys' point, like coaches can mess you up at some point.
Yeah, as long as it's not killing your time when you drop it back,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Where's your favorite place to play?
Anywhere people show up to see me play.
Really? Didn't matter?
No, it doesn't matter. People that come to see me play are they're pretty passionate about it.
Yeah. Oh,
Doesn't really matter where I play.
Oh, yeah,
A sold
people-
out show is a sold out show.
yeah.
And what's crazy is some of the wildest shows that I've had where the people were the most worked up politically on my side of things are in the bluest states.
Yeah.
Like my California shows, they're insane.
Really?
They're crazy
I was just I just literally got
in a
off,
good way.
Yeah, I just got off the plane from New York today, and I was kind of shocked. Like there weren't a lot of masks. There weren't a lot of like everyone was just like living life. Have you guys always been very kind of political on that side? Or more so just some,
You know, I guess I really wasn't very vocal about it
I mean, are you still doing the national anthem before?
during the band. If
Yeah.
if it's the band show,
Yeah.
because it
That's cool.
sets up right for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, doesn't really. I'm sitting down in a stool. It doesn't really set up right for the acoustic show.
Yeah.
But for the band show, I start the show that way.
So you've always been pretty,
As I got older, I got more vocal about it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a natural progression
Yeah.
that happens. You get older, you taste real responsibility in life. You have commitments and obligations, and things start getting a little bit more real.
mm-hmm.
You know, when you've got a wife and kids and a house and
Yeah.
bills and responsibilities, and you start thinking about things a little bit differently.
Sure. Absolutely, I
You
totally
know?
agree. It starts mattering.
It starts mattering a lot more. And the fact of the matter, you know, I'm 50 years old today.
Mm-hmm.
It's now my turn.
Yeah.
exactly.
This is now my generation. I'm now the generation that is responsible for the well-being of this country.
I agree.
So I'm not going to be quiet about it. Now is my time to not be quiet about it in any way, because it's in my hands now.
Yeah.
This is just generationally passed down to each next generation, and
Yeah.
every generation is responsible for protecting it so that our kids and our grandkids enjoy as much, if not more, than we did when we grew up.
Absolutely.
I mean,
And that's lost.
look
Like,
at this
I don't even
mask
know
issue.
what the
Okay.
Do what?
fuck is
Look at
going
this
on.
mask issue. I can't breathe in a mask.
I almost
mean,
got
It's ridiculous.
I haven't worn it.
I almost got kicked off the plane.
Well, I try and put it under my nose. So I can
I haven't
breathe
worn it. I stopped flying. I stopped doing anything that would require me to wear it. If I needed to go into a store or something like that,
Yeah.
I put it on.
Yeah.
But because they wouldn't allow me in
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah, you have to.
But if I didn't have to wear it, I never did.
Yeah.
I never did. I never did.
So I told you guys I flew to New York. So we flew Sunday, I think. I don't even know. What is today? Wednesday? And and I'm sitting there, and my mask is kind of down a little bit, and the flight attendant, his mask is the same. And I'm walking on, and he's like, "Sir, can you pull up your mask?" I go, "It's same as yours. I can see your nose, bro." And he goes, "I'm not gonna ask you again. Pull your mask up." I put it up. I go, "So you're gonna be that guy?" He goes, "I am that guy." I'm like, "Fine, no problem." Went and sat down. I'm drinking water. I'm talking to my daughter on FaceTime, and it's down. And he comes back again. He's like, "Sir, what did he say?" He said, "I'm not going to tell you again. The next time I have to tell you, I'm going to remove you from this plane." I'm like, here we go. Put it back up. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden the gate agent comes down, and she comes, "Hey, sir, I need to take you off the plane. I need to talk to you." And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So get off the plane. There's a cop there. There's a flight attendant or the gate agent, and then 2 more people from Delta. And they're like, "You really offended our flight attendant, with your mask comment." I go, "My mask is the same as his. It's up right now." She goes, "I need you to make a promise that you're going to wear it the entire flight." And I go, "Never had an issue." I go, "I'll wear my mask. Got no problem with this." Went back and forth a little bit. Went back, sat down, and we took off. And the funny thing, Kathy Lee Gifford was sitting beside me, and she's on our team. So we had a chat and a laugh about it. But it's just silly at this point. We're on a metal tube, breathing the same air for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And once we take off, everyone's drinking and eating, and you take your mask off, and then what happens?
Yeah.
That COVID didn't exist then?
No, the flu didn't exist.
Flu doesn't exist.
Didn't.
I still think
For the whole year, it didn't exist.
I still think in 2013 more people died from the flu than COVID.
We're not. No. And you're right. Like flu just went away all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't have it.
Yeah.
And if you look at the VAERS numbers and you look at real numbers, and as states and countries start reporting numbers that have been changed and augmented after truth has been sought out and found,
Yep.
it looks to me that there's been more vaccine injuries and deaths than there has been COVID deaths.
Yeah. And now we want to vaccinate kids.
Right.
Scary.
Right.
Where's the world go? Do we get over this, or what happens?
Kids had 0.001 chance to begin with.
They've got a better chance of.
The flu is deadlier to kids than COVID is.
They got a better chance of hurting themselves riding their bikes than COVID.
Mm-hmm. It's really not about the COVID though. It's about the control.
Yeah.
It's a liberal movement. That's all it is.
When did the world get so political? I mean, because I remember growing up, like it wasn't really that.
When we abandoned religion
You think so?
and had to have something else to put that kind of belief into,
Did you grow up religious?
it's always been around me.
Sure.
It's always been around me. I'm not necessarily a practicing religious person. I don't go to church. I don't go to a house of worship. But I certainly believe that there's something greater than myself.
Has to be.
There has to be.
Yeah.
When we stop thinking that way, we start thinking the way our politicians think right now, and
Yeah.
the way the left on the far side of things is thinking right now. And what's amazing to me is that what used to be as left as you could go in the Democratic Party is now center.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's true. Like Bill Clinton would almost damn near be a Republican at this point.
Oh yeah.
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 No.
I mean, keep close.
Compared to where it is now.
Compared to where it is now.
Like,
Yeah, and
if you shift the spectrum and
Yeah.
shift the gauge of things, like where
But
it
he-
is now,
he
Bill
started
Clinton
it.
would have been considered a Republican.
But
But
he started it.
Yeah.
He started this whole movement, basically.
How do we make the most of our time here on Earth? How do we bring meaning to our life's work? And what is the best emoji to use when texting? These are important questions asked on a weekly interview podcast, Life is Short, with Justin Long. In each episode, actor Justin Long chats with celebrities, actors, musicians, artists, and more about how they get the most out of life. In recent episodes, here is conversations with Severance actor Adam Scott, comedian Nicole Byer, and prolific author Mark Epstein. You'll get the inside scoop in their careers and, of course, learn their favorite emojis too. Listen to Life is Short with Justin Long on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or you can listen 1 week early and ad-free by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app. Don't underestimate a comfy pair of pajamas. And you can get the softest pajamas imaginable from our friends at Lake Pajamas. Lake Pajamas make PJs for women, men, and kids in all sorts of fabric options. Try their signature 100% Pima cotton that gets softer with every wash. Bamboo, poplin, and more. I've tried the bamboo pants and Pima tees, and they are so soft and easy to sleep in. I love them. My kids do too. Just go to lakepajamas.com and use code J10 for 10% off your purchase. That's lakepajamas.com and use code J10 for 10% off. Limited one-time use per customer.
well, unfortunately, you can go all the way back through. You can hear Bush Jr. and Sr. talking about it. They all talk about the New World Order. Every one of them do.
Yeah.
And now it's right here in our faces, and there's no denying. There's no calling it a conspiracy theory anymore. All the people in charge are outwardly talking about it now.
Hey, whatever happened to our country getting people that were talking socialism back in the 60s, 70s, 80s,
Yeah.
arresting them,
Yeah.
get him back there. Now it's like,
It's the biggest threat to our system.
oh yeah,
Thought processes like that. They have no place. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You're free to speak whatever you want to speak, but you're not free from the consequences of what it is that you choose to say.
No, not at all. You shouldn't be.
And there's no place in the governmental system that we have in this country of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There's no place for socialism. There's no place for communism. There's no place for any of that. It doesn't exist because of what we have.
Exactly. The country's founded on it. But we're not allowing it anymore.
it's
Yeah.
sad is what it is right now.
Well, I mean, what Elon's now
That's interesting. What's going on there?
that is really interesting what's going on with him and
Well,
Twitter.
and the fact that he refused to be on the board so that it didn't limit him from the amount of shares he can
Yeah.
buy. And
I wonder what he's gonna do with it.
what do I hope that he buys all the shares that he needs to take
over.
control and
Yeah.
and either turn it back into the free speech market that it was supposed to be,
Yep.
or shut it the hell down and turn the headquarters into a homeless impoundment.
It'd be it's gonna be interesting because he's doing it for a reason. I mean, it's not like he needs it or needs the money or anything else like that. Like something's gonna happen. I hope.
Oh, it's all happening. There's more happening right now than anybody wants to believe, or some of it would believe.
Do you guys think it's gonna shift back to some sort of normalcy or?
Oh, I think that the swing back, as the pendulum swings, so to speak, the swing back is going to be harder than it's ever swung back.
Really?
We're gonna get the House, we'll get the Congress, we'll get the Senate back.
Yeah.
And the swing back culturally and the swing back everything is going to swing back more than it ever has, because they've never taken it this far. They've never pushed it to this level.
Not even close.
To the point where every single one of us, no matter who we voted for, no matter what we believe in, every single one of us is like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
They pushed it too far.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of the shit that Disney is responsible for putting into the classrooms of our children?
Gender, the border. I mean,
I mean, they want to teach.
And this is just Disney.
Yeah, they want to teach.
Forget about the rest of the factions of it that are just hard pressing turning our kids' education into an indoctrination of their movement.
Mm-hmm.
Which their movement is as anti-America as you could possibly create in one movement. Every facet of it.
It's true. Is Trump going to run again?
He's
Daddy
not
Trump.
going anywhere.
Daddy Trump is going to run again.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere. There's a lot of interesting things that are floating around out there that I hope any one of them come true.
Like what?
Oh, I would love to see us take back the House and Senate, and a whole handful of our congressmen and women immediately put Trump up for Speaker of the House,
That would be good too. And have DeSantis
and then proceed on impeaching everybody, and it all leads back to Trump again, and he'll finish out Biden's
He's
4 years, and
no matter
and
what
then-
happens, he's definitely running again. I would say.
I'm
I got head covers with Trump 2024 on it.
Do you already?
I've never called him Mr. President. We've been friends since '92. I always call him Daddy Trump.
Daddy Trump.
And if you don't know him, he is one of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my life.
I played golf with him and Jason Aldean right before New Year's, right before they had their party, and he was amazing.
Yeah.
So nice, generous, telling stories, fun, engaging. I mean, he was cool. It was really cool. We'll see what happens. Something's gonna happen. Has to happen.
Hey, it can only get better now. I mean,
No.
he put our country.
It can still get worse.
No, he put our country in the greatest spot our country's been in for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Everybody
Just all
forgets
to
he
get
didn't
taken
have to
away.
do what he did for us.
And yeah.
What did he get? What did he gain
More
out of
problem,
doing what he did for us?
more
He could
headaches.
have never in his life, in the rest of his lifetime, even put a dent in the money that he has. He has all the fame and fortune. Before he did this, both sides loved him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
What did he get out of this? And you can't tell me an ego boost, because he got his ego kicked down his throat every single day for frickin' 4 years.
It's true. And they still are.
Tell
They're
me
still-
what he
and they're-
got
and
out
they're
of
still
this.
on him.
You know what he got out of it? Helping American people is what he got out of
Aside
it.
from that, that's what I'm saying.
That's all he wanted. That's all he wanted
I'm
to
saying, with everybody spinning it and making that they're all their negatives, what did he get out of this?
do. Helping America is what he did.
That's what he did.
Makes it pretty pure, doesn't it?
When you boil it down,
And it's like I told him, I said, I think you should run on common sense.
Isn't that all he ever did?
that's all he ever did.
Yeah, but
Run on it.
state it.
That's all he ever did. That's what was so threatening about Donald Trump, is he brought common sense back.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
I love that whole family. They're nothing but great people. And it's just was sad his 4 years. All the great stuff that he did, he still got it done.
Yeah.
He was getting degraded every day from somebody. What you're the president of the United States. You're gonna get some of
Yeah,
that.
you're going to take some lumps.
But he didn't deserve all that.
No, I agree.
Not for what he was doing for the American people.
No, I agree.
And everybody, Obama, basically everybody had a handout. American had a handout. You know.
Oh, they
And-
all wanted him at their parties. They all wanted him to attend their functions. They all loved Trump
Yeah.
until he became the biggest threat to their good old boy network.
Their monopoly of them making money, not making money for the
and
Americans.
keeping their positions for a lifetime.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
that was never ever how this country was designed to be.
Yeah, he threatened the career politicians.
Right. But we're not supposed to have career politicians.
Well, we do. Yeah. A lot of them.
That's not part of it. You were supposed to come in,
Serve
serve your term,
and do it right.
and
Yep.
put forth your good ideas that are good for the American people, because you have nothing to gain out of it, which keeps it pure. And then when you're done, you go back to your life. You served your civil service.
Yeah.
You volunteered.
Mm-hmm.
You put yourself out there to do it. But this whole being able to be bought and paid for a lifetime,
Yeah.
you know,
Most of them didn't like Trump because Trump didn't want anybody's money.
You didn't need it.
They all want somebody's money.
Yeah.
They want to do little deals behind the table. It's like, what do you call it? Clean up the swamp.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah.
Politicians, you know, on the liberal side are making so much money off. They don't care what the American people think of them. They want to get as much money out of their term selfishly instead of doing what Daddy Trump did. He could care less about the money. He wanted to help everybody. I mean, the first thing he did, he gave black colleges $48 billion.
for the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Barack Obama had them coming back every year and asking for more money.
Yeah. It's the first thing Trump did. And I think the first thing Biden did is he took it away when he got in office.
Yeah, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like you said,
Because he's not getting a piece of it.
well,
How
hopefully
much money do you think Biden's making off of Putin on oil right now?
a lot.
This goes back to the common sense. Why in the world would he ever do a deal with Putin on oil?
Well, I mean, Elon Musk. I mean, he's doing electric cars, and he even said, "Hey, like we need oil. Like we've got to get the pipeline going." Like,
Here's the point.
It's just,
I mean,
it's,
let's
it's
let's
common sense
85
thinking.
million people or
Yeah.
100 million people that drive cars in this country.
yeah,
If they all had electric cars,
yeah,
the grid would shut down.
yeah. But
We don't have the ability to
There's
make
no
enough
way our
power.
grids could hold the power.
no.
And
And Elon, I
for
think Elon,
every battery that's made for a car, it's something like 500,000 tons of earth needs to be moved
yeah, and it's like
to make that one battery.
it's also like 6 barrels of oil or something to make a tire.
And
Like,
what
it's-
happens when we run out of cobalt?
Uh-uh.
We don't have that much cobalt in the world. It's
Yeah.
not like a super, it's everywhere.
Well, the damn chargers are almost more than cars.
Like chargers
You
are
put it at your
expensive,
house.
so-
You go to a gas station, electric, or put your
And your
charger in there.
electric car, let's
You
think
sit there
about the
for-
500,000 tons of earth that has to be moved. What's
Yeah.
moving that? Electric vehicles?
Yeah.
we have big heavy machinery that runs on electric vehicles? No.
No, we don't.
It runs on the diesel fuel that you have shot through the roof with all the bullshit that you're pulling.
Yeah,
Exactly.
$6 a gallon.
Yeah.
It's here's the plus to it all.
Give it to
if
me.
there is one. This country has never been so aware of how corrupt
It's true.
everything is in its existence, I think. There was no way to communicate like this back in the day for the revolution.
No,
So even then, people weren't fully awake and aware.
hell no, no. I think you're 100% right. Like that's never.
And it took 3% of the entire population to take America from Britain.
Yeah. Yeah. People are highly aware right now, and super connected. Because,
Well,
like you
especially
said,
our parents on the gender thing in schools. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
The gender
God
thing,
bless-
the
God
critical
bless
race
America.
theory thing.
yeah,
This is criminal what they are doing.
yeah.
Criminal. Every teacher out there that has taught a child anything that has to do with sexual orientation should be in jail. There's laws for grooming on the books.
Mhm.
You have no business talking to my children or anybody's children
Yeah.
about that.
yeah,
They're not adults,
not even close.
not even close.
Yeah.
I can't even believe that the argument is about up to 8 years old. After 8, you're going to tell me that after 8 years old, it's okay for a complete stranger to talk about their sexuality or my child's sexuality with them without me knowing it
Yeah.
or being there.
Yeah, being present.
Ridiculous.
Is this really what is going on in this fucking country?
Yeah.
8.
It's happening.
How about at least high school? How about once you're in high school, you still got to get written permission from the parents to talk about that shit?
Yeah.
Maybe they've already got their speech worked out.
Probably should have it.
It's not a teacher's responsibility to take
A teacher's
Teach our
responsibility is to teach
school.
curriculum.
Yeah.
Yes, not our parents are the ones who's supposed to teach that.
Yeah.
Always. It was never the job of a stranger.
Right.
This is a stranger.
Yeah. Legit. Like, you don't know your teachers.
I don't know what a teacher is doing after hours. I just know how they are when they interact with my kids.
Exactly.
It is a stranger talking to your children.
And it's the one that say, hey, why don't you stay after class?
Talking to your children not only
That's
about
the biggest piece of
sex,
crap I've ever seen.
but all sorts of aspects of sex, from the most depraved things to the most normal of things. Who the fuck do you think you are that you have any right to talk to my child about any of that?
Mm-hmm. It's happening. Unfortunately.
It's sad, Jay.
No, it is.
It's so sad.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But like you said, like, getting back to your point, like, the pendulum's going to swing.
Oh, it's going to swing hard.
Yeah. Which is...
It has to.
Past.
It has to.
And like you just said, people are hyper aware, super connected, and it's gonna swing.
Uncut with Jay Cutler is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Most of you listening right now are probably multitasking. Yep, while you're listening to me talk, you're probably also driving, cleaning, exercising, or maybe even grocery shopping. But if you're not in some kind of moving vehicle, there's something else you can be doing right now. Getting an auto quote from Progressive Insurance. It's easy and you can save money by doing it right from your phone. Drivers who save by switching to Progressive save over $700 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Discounts for having multiple vehicles on your policy, being a homeowner, and more. So just like your favorite podcast, Progressive will be with you 24/7, 365 days a year, so you're protected no matter what. Multitask right now. Quote your car insurance at Progressive.com to join the over 27 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Companies and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2020 and May 2021. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Happy 50th.
He got a lot of shit off his chest, didn't he?
He sure did. He got fired up.
There, baby.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's easy for me to get fired up. I know, not unfortunately. I was about to say unfortunately I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But not unfortunately. I'm very fortunate that I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate that I am not one of the brainwashed masses that believe everything that the bought and paid for people tell us.
Yeah.
They're bought and paid for. Why are you believing them? Why are you putting the faith and hope of humanity in the hands of just a handful of people?
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
They
It
just
doesn't
want
make
they want
any
all our
sense.
money. They just want to make money, money.
Oh,
They don't care about us.
It's money. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a big circle.
And that's all you have to do is follow the money.
Yeah.
Follow the money. There's some crazy shit out right now. Have you seen the newest stuff about? I'm not going to go into it because oh my God, I'll get put on blast so bad. But have you seen the newest stuff about the actual makeup of COVID
No.
and what they're saying that they have found?
No.
Oh, go look it up.
All right.
Look it up for yourself.
I'll look it up. We won't discuss it.
Come to find out, I guess there was a reason why they constantly allowed us, through fact checkers and everything else, they constantly allowed us to believe that the virus came from bats.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's been out for a while.
Yeah.
well, right, but no fact checkers ever jumped in and fucking squashed that idea. They
I wouldn't squash
the
it.
fact checkers let that go.
Well, they've been
You
eating
go
bats.
and you
They've
look-
been eating bats
listen,
for 500 years.
You go and you look at what they're saying now, and you go and you look and you see what the fact checkers, which fact checkers by definition are people that deter you from the truth and push you back to the narrative. The fact checkers, when this topic came up, all jumped in, boom, 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 and pushed it back over to the narrative of the bats. I'm just saying, I don't know what to believe anymore, but when you start putting pieces of the puzzles together, look into what some folks are saying is
The first
is
time I heard about
the
it
newest
was
concept.
a poisonous snake bit a bat.
Well,
Somebody ate the bat, and that's how COVID started. That's,
It's a hell of a story.
I mean,
it's a hell of a story.
yeah.
You're playing somewhere soon, aren't you? Didn't you just
I go
announce something?
9 weeks ago.
Yeah, we're playing tomorrow at Old Hick.
Oh, are you?
Heck yeah.
That's right.
I go 9 in a row next week after this week.
9 in a row.
Yeah.
You playing? You got any gigs coming up?
Always.
Always.
I'm perpetually on tour. I don't do tours in blocks.
Yeah.
Um,
You just
I take
keep
I
going.
take the 2 weeks of July 4th to July 15th-ish, 14th-ish off,
Mhm.
and I take December 15th to January 15th off because the whole industry closes down. But other than that, I play every weekend.
Damn. Keeps you young.
Gotta
You look
work.
good- You look good for 50.
Gotta
I'm so jealous of
gotta
singers,
make
'cause All
that.
they gotta do is keep their voice going.
That's it.
I gotta keep this.
You got to keep that bod.
You
gotta
gotta-
keep that bod
And
together.
I
maintain
and
that
They're there
tempo.
for maybe 1 or 2 nights. I'm there for the whole week.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
Well,
It's tough
I've
to
kept
be
you
a
guys long enough.
DJ star.
Yeah, no doubt.
Tough to beat you.
I appreciate it. Happy birthday.
Thanks, Jay.
We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Yes, I will see you later. We will be smoking some fine
We're
cigars
gonna
and
do all of that and
sipping some whiskey.
Yep. Thanks, boys.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.